Ladies and gentlemen, let me start by asking you a simple question. How many times have you set a goal, made a plan, and then life happened? Distractions came, challenges arose, and before you knew it, that goal became a distant memory. Sound familiar? Consistency is the bridge between goals and results. It is the unyielding thread that connects where you are now to where you want to be. Many people dream of achieving great things, setting ambitious goals for themselves, yet they often fall short. Why? It's not a lack of talent or intelligence. It's not even a lack of resources. It's the absence of consistency that derails their efforts. Consistency isn't glamorous. It's not the loud, exciting part of success. It's the quiet, steady rhythm that keeps you moving forward, even when the initial excitement fades. When you set a goal, you often feel motivated at the start. You're full of energy and ready to take on the world. But motivation is fleeting. It's like a spark. It can ignite a fire, but it won't keep it burning. To sustain that fire, you need fuel. Consistency is that fuel. It's the daily commitment to show up and do the work, regardless of how you feel or what obstacles stand in your way. It's not about being perfect. It's about being persistent. Consistency requires a shift in mindset. It's about focusing on the process rather than the outcome. When you're too fixated on the end result, it's easy to become discouraged if progress seems slow or setbacks arise. But when you embrace the process, you learn to appreciate the small steps that build momentum over time. These small steps might not seem significant in the moment, but they compound to create powerful results. Think of a drop of water falling on a rock. One drop won't make a difference, but over time, the steady drip can carve a hole in the stone. That's the power of consistency. It's not about making a massive impact all at once. It's about the cumulative effect of sustained effort. Every small action you take toward your goal adds up, even if it doesn't feel impactful at the time. But consistency isn't easy. It requires discipline and self-control. There will be days when you don't feel like doing the work, when distractions tempt you, and when doubt creeps in. These are the moments that test your resolve. The key is to push through, to take action even when it's the last thing you want to do. Each time you overcome resistance, you strengthen your ability to stay consistent. It's like building a muscle. The more you exercise it, the stronger it becomes. Consistency also demands patience. In a world that values instant gratification, it's challenging to stay committed to long-term goals. We want results now, and when they don't come quickly, we're tempted to give up. But success is rarely instant. It's the result of consistent effort over time. Patience is what allows you to keep going when progress is slow, trusting that your efforts will eventually pay off. One of the most powerful aspects of consistency is the way it builds trust in yourself. Each time you follow through on a commitment, no matter how small, you reinforce your belief in your ability to succeed. This self-trust is essential for achieving your goals. It creates a positive feedback loop. When you trust yourself, you're more likely to stay consistent. And when you stay consistent, your trust in yourself grows. Consistency isn't about perfection. It's about progress. You don't have to do everything perfectly to achieve your goals. You just have to keep moving forward. Even small imperfect actions can lead to significant results if you stay consistent over time. The key is to keep showing up day after day, even when it's difficult. Ultimately, consistency is what separates those who achieve their goals from those who don't. It's the quiet, unglamorous work that happens behind the scenes, the daily effort that no one sees. But it's also the most powerful force for turning dreams into reality. Discipline over comfort creates lasting success. At its core, discipline is the ability to make choices that align with your goals and values, even when those choices are difficult or uncomfortable. It's the act of doing what needs to be done, not because it's easy or enjoyable, but because it's necessary for your growth and progress. Comfort, on the other hand, is seductive. It's the path of least resistance, the familiar and easy way that offers immediate gratification but often leads to long-term stagnation. The conflict between discipline and comfort is where the foundation of success is built. The pursuit of comfort is natural. As human beings, we are wired to seek pleasure and avoid pain. It's a survival instinct that has served us well in dangerous situations, but in the modern world, it can be a double-edged sword. Comfort zones, while safe and reassuring, are not places where growth occurs. Growth requires challenge, and challenge often requires stepping outside the boundaries of what feels easy or familiar. This is where discipline comes into play. Discipline is the internal force that allows you to prioritize your future self over your present desires. It's the voice that says, keep going when every part of you wants to stop. It's the strength to say no to distractions and temptations even when they're enticing. Discipline isn't about depriving yourself, it's about empowering yourself to make choices that align with your goals, even when those choices are uncomfortable. The beauty of discipline is that it builds momentum. The first step is always the hardest, but once you take it, the next one becomes a little easier. Each disciplined action reinforces the habit of discipline, making it easier to stay consistent over time. This momentum creates a powerful cycle. Discipline leads to action, action leads to progress, and progress reinforces discipline. Over time, what once felt difficult becomes second nature. Comfort, by contrast, is a short-term fix. It feels good in the moment, but often leaves you feeling unfulfilled in the long run. Think about the times you've chosen comfort over discipline, skipping a workout, procrastinating on a project, or indulging in unhealthy habits. In the moment, these choices might have felt good, but they likely came with a sense of regret or disappointment afterward. That's because comfort is a fleeting pleasure, while discipline offers lasting satisfaction. Choosing discipline over comfort is not about rejecting all pleasure or denying yourself joy. It's about understanding the difference between fleeting gratification and meaningful fulfillment. When you prioritize discipline, you're not just working toward your goals, you're also building character. You're proving to yourself that you can do hard things, that you can overcome challenges, and that you can stay true to your commitments. This sense of accomplishment and self-respect is far more rewarding than any temporary comfort. Discipline is also the key to resilience. Life is unpredictable, and challenges are inevitable. Comfort might provide temporary relief, but it doesn't prepare you for adversity. Discipline, on the other hand, strengthens your ability to persevere in the face of difficulty. It teaches you to embrace discomfort as a necessary part of growth rather than something to be avoided. This mindset shift is crucial for achieving lasting success. One of the most common misconceptions about discipline is that it requires willpower alone. While willpower is important, it's not enough on its own. Discipline is about creating systems and habits that make it easier to make the right choices. It's about setting yourself up for success by eliminating unnecessary temptations and distractions. For example, if you want to eat healthier, don't rely on willpower to resist junk food, remove it from your environment. If you want to exercise regularly, create a routine that makes it as easy as possible to show up. Discipline is not about perfection. It's about persistence. There will be days when you fall short, when comfort gets the better of you. What matters is that you get back on track and keep moving forward. Each time you choose discipline over comfort, you strengthen your ability to do it again in the future. Over time, these small, disciplined choices add up to significant progress. The rewards of discipline are not always immediate, but they are always worth it. Discipline creates a sense of purpose and direction. It allows you to focus on what truly matters and let go of distractions that don't serve your goals. It builds confidence and self-respect, knowing that you are capable of following through on your commitments. Most importantly, it creates the foundation for lasting success that is not built on fleeting moments of comfort, but on the steady, enduring strength of disciplined action. Small, daily actions compound into extraordinary outcomes. At first glance, the small steps we take each day may seem insignificant, almost too trivial to matter. However, these seemingly minor actions hold incredible power when repeated consistently over time. This principle is often misunderstood because people tend to overestimate what they can accomplish in a short period and underestimate what they can achieve over the long term. The magic of compounding lies in its ability to turn small, consistent efforts into monumental results. Consider the way a single drop of water can carve through rock. One drop on its own may seem powerless, but when that drop is repeated over weeks, months, and years, it can create a profound transformation. The same is true for our actions. Each small decision we make, whether to take a step forward or stand still, adds up over time. When we choose to move forward, even incrementally, we create momentum that can lead to extraordinary achievements. One of the reasons small actions are so powerful is their accessibility. It's much easier to take one small step than to tackle a massive task all at once. For example, if your goal is to write a book, the idea of completing hundreds of pages can feel overwhelming. But writing a single paragraph each day feels manageable. Over time, those daily paragraphs add up, and before you know it, you've completed an entire book. The same principle applies to any goal, whether it's building a business, improving your health, or learning a new skill. Small actions also have the advantage of being sustainable. Grand gestures and massive efforts can be inspiring, but they're often difficult to maintain. Consistency, not intensity, is what drives long-term success. By focusing on small, manageable steps, you create habits that become a natural part of your routine. These habits are the building blocks of progress. Each one reinforces the others, creating a positive cycle that propels you forward. The power of small actions is amplified by the principle of compounding. In mathematics, compounding refers to the way a small amount of growth, when applied consistently, can lead to exponential results. The same concept applies to personal development and goal achievement. When you take small actions consistently, the benefits accumulate over time. What starts as a modest improvement can grow into something extraordinary. Imagine planting a seed. At first, there's no visible progress. Days and weeks go by, and it may seem like nothing is happening. But beneath the surface, the seed is taking root, gathering strength, and preparing to sprout. When it finally breaks through the soil, its growth becomes visible. With continued care, it grows into a thriving plant. The same process occurs with our efforts. The early stages may feel slow or even futile, but they are laying the foundation for future success. Another reason small actions are so impactful is their ability to create momentum. Taking even the smallest step forward can break through inertia and set you on a path of progress. Once you're in motion, it becomes easier to stay in motion. This is why starting is often the hardest part of any endeavor. But once you take that first step, the next one becomes a little easier, and the one after that easier still. Momentum also helps to overcome resistance. When you focus on small actions, you reduce the mental barriers that can make big tasks feel daunting. Instead of thinking about the entire mountain you need to climb, you focus on the next step in front of you. This approach makes it easier to keep going, even when the journey feels long. Small actions also build confidence. Each time you follow through on a commitment, no matter how small, you prove to yourself that you are capable of taking action. This sense of accomplishment reinforces your belief in your ability to achieve your goals. Over time, these small victories add up, creating a strong foundation of self-trust and resilience. One of the most profound aspects of small, daily actions is their ability to create lasting change. Big, dramatic efforts may produce temporary results, but it's the small, consistent actions that lead to sustainable growth. By focusing on what you can do today, you create habits that become a natural part of your life. These habits shape your identity, transforming you into the kind of person who achieves extraordinary outcomes. When you look at the achievements of successful individuals, you'll often find that their success was not the result of one grand event, but of countless small actions taken over time. Whether it's an athlete training for a championship, an entrepreneur building a thriving business, or an artist mastering their craft, the path to success is paved with small, daily efforts. Each action, no matter how small, contributes to the larger goal. Over time, these actions compound, creating extraordinary outcomes that far exceed the sum of their parts. Momentum begins with showing up, not waiting for motivation. Motivation is a fleeting feeling, one that ebbs and flows based on circumstances, mood, and even the weather. If you rely on motivation to take action, you'll find yourself waiting far too often, stuck in a cycle of procrastination and frustration. The truth is, the people who achieve their goals aren't the ones who feel motivated every day. They're the ones who show up, no matter how they feel. The act of showing up is deceptively simple, yet profoundly powerful. It's about taking the first step, even when you're not sure you're ready. It's about starting, even when you don't feel like it. Once you take that first step, you create momentum. That momentum propels you forward, making it easier to take the next step and the one after that. Before you know it, you've made progress, and progress fuels further action. Momentum is a self-reinforcing cycle. It begins with a single action, which leads to a sense of accomplishment, no matter how small. That accomplishment creates a spark of motivation, which in turn fuels more action. But it all starts with showing up. Waiting for motivation is like waiting for a gust of wind to move your ship. Showing up is like raising the sails and starting to row. It's taking control of the process rather than waiting for external forces to align. One of the most challenging aspects of showing up is overcoming the initial resistance. This resistance often takes the form of excuses, doubts, or fears. You might think, I don't have enough time, or I'm not in the right mindset, or I'll start tomorrow. These thoughts are the barriers that stand between you and momentum. The key is to push through them, to act despite them. Once you begin, the resistance starts to fade. There's a psychological phenomenon known as the Zeigarnik effect, which suggests that starting a task creates a mental pull to complete it. This is why showing up is so effective. Once you start, your brain becomes invested in the process, and it becomes easier to keep going. The hardest part is often taking that first step, but once you do, the momentum takes over. Momentum is not about perfection, it's about progress. It's not about doing everything at once, it's about doing something. Even the smallest action can create momentum. Writing one sentence can lead to a paragraph. Doing one push-up can lead to a workout. Making one phone call can lead to a productive day. The key is to lower the barrier to entry, to make it so easy to start that you can't help but take action. Showing up also builds discipline. Each time you show up, even when you don't feel like it, you strengthen your ability to take control of your actions. You prove to yourself that you are capable of acting independently of your emotions. This discipline becomes a habit, and habits are what sustain momentum over the long term. Momentum is cumulative. The more you show up, the more progress you make, and the more progress you make, the more motivated you become. This is why momentum is so powerful. It creates a positive feedback loop that keeps you moving forward. It turns small, consistent actions into significant achievements. But it all starts with the decision to show up, to take that first step, no matter how small. The act of showing up also builds confidence. Each time you take action, you prove to yourself that you are capable of following through on your commitments. This sense of accomplishment reinforces your belief in your ability to succeed. Over time, this confidence becomes a powerful motivator, driving you to take even bolder actions. One of the most important things to remember about momentum is that it doesn't have to be perfect to be effective. You don't have to feel great every day. You don't have to produce your best work every time. You just have to show up and do what you can. Even imperfect action is better than no action at all. Progress, no matter how small, is still progress. Momentum also helps to overcome inertia. Inertia is the tendency to stay at rest when you're not in motion. It's what keeps you stuck, waiting for the right time or the right feeling. But once you start moving, the inertia shifts. You go from being stuck to being in motion, and motion creates energy. The more you move, the easier it becomes to keep moving. Momentum is not a matter of chance, it's a matter of choice. It's about deciding to show up, to take that first step, even when it's hard. It's about trusting that action will lead to progress, and progress will lead to results. It's about understanding that motivation is a byproduct of action, not a prerequisite for it. Momentum begins with the simple act of showing up. Set achievable goals, but never let the bar drop. Goals are the guiding stars that provide direction and purpose in our lives. They give us something to aim for, a reason to strive, and a way to measure progress. However, the process of setting goals is as important as the goals themselves. When you set goals that are realistic and attainable, you create a pathway for success that motivates and energizes you. At the same time, it's crucial to maintain a standard of excellence and resist the temptation to lower the bar when things get tough. Achievable goals are not about limiting your potential or settling for mediocrity. They are about creating stepping stones that lead to larger aspirations. When a goal feels impossible, it can be overwhelming, causing doubt and discouragement to creep in. On the other hand, a goal that is just within reach challenges you to stretch yourself without feeling out of touch with reality. It's the balance between ambition and practicality that allows you to move forward with confidence and clarity. Breaking down larger goals into smaller, achievable milestones is one of the most effective ways to ensure progress. A massive goal, like starting a business or running a marathon, can feel daunting when viewed as a whole. But when you break it down into smaller tasks, creating a business plan, running a mile, or researching your market, it becomes manageable. Each milestone you reach builds momentum, reinforcing your belief in your ability to achieve the larger goal. The process of setting achievable goals also requires honesty with yourself. It's important to assess your current situation, resources, and capabilities. This doesn't mean underestimating yourself, but rather being realistic about where you are starting from. Self-awareness is a powerful tool in goal setting because it allows you to create a plan that is both challenging and attainable. While setting achievable goals is essential, it's equally important to maintain high standards for yourself. Never let the bar drop simply because the path becomes difficult. Challenges and setbacks are inevitable, but they are also opportunities for growth. When you lower your standards, you rob yourself of the chance to rise to the occasion and discover what you're truly capable of. Instead of lowering the bar, adjust your approach. Find new strategies, seek guidance, and persevere through the obstacles. The key to maintaining high standards is to focus on the process rather than the outcome. When you concentrate on doing your best in each moment, you create a foundation for excellence. This doesn't mean being perfect, it means striving for improvement and refusing to settle for less than your best effort. By holding yourself to a high standard, you develop discipline, resilience, and a sense of pride in your work. Another important aspect of goal setting is the ability to adapt without compromising your vision. Life is unpredictable, and circumstances can change. When this happens, it's important to reevaluate your goals and adjust them if necessary. However, this adjustment should never come at the cost of lowering your standards. Instead, it should reflect a new approach or timeline that allows you to continue striving toward your ultimate objective. Achievable goals and high standards go hand in hand. Together, they create a framework for sustainable success. Achievable goals provide the motivation to take action, while high standards ensure that the action you take is meaningful and impactful. This combination allows you to make consistent progress without losing sight of your larger aspirations. When you set goals that challenge you but are within your reach, you create a positive feedback loop. Each success, no matter how small, reinforces your belief in your ability to achieve more. This belief is the foundation of confidence and self-trust. It motivates you to keep going, even when the journey is difficult. Over time, the cumulative effect of these small successes leads to significant achievements. Maintaining high standards also means being accountable to yourself. It's about recognizing when you're falling short and taking responsibility for your actions. This accountability is not about being harsh or critical. It's about being honest and committed to your growth. When you hold yourself accountable, you create a sense of integrity that drives you to do better and be better. Setting achievable goals and maintaining high standards is not a one-time process, it's an ongoing practice. As you grow and evolve, your goals should evolve with you. Each goal you achieve becomes a stepping stone for the next, allowing you to continuously raise the bar and push your limits. This cycle of growth is what leads to long-term success and fulfillment. By combining achievable goals with unwavering standards, you create a balance that allows you to progress steadily without losing sight of your larger vision. This approach ensures that you remain motivated and focused even in the face of challenges. It allows you to celebrate your successes while continuing to strive for more. Most importantly, it reinforces the belief that you are capable of achieving greatness, one step at a time. The journey matters more than the destination. In life, we often fixate on reaching our goals, believing that our happiness, success, or fulfillment depends entirely on the final outcome. While having clear goals is important, the process of working toward them is where true growth and transformation occur. The journey is where we learn, adapt, and build the resilience that defines us. Focusing solely on the destination can blind us to the lessons and experiences that shape who we are along the way. When we embark on any journey, we start with an idea of where we want to go. This vision provides direction and motivation, but the path to getting there is rarely as straightforward as we imagine. Challenges arise, plans change, and unexpected opportunities appear. It's in navigating these twists and turns that we develop the skills and character needed to succeed. The destination may give us a sense of purpose, but the journey gives us the tools to achieve it. The journey teaches us patience. In a world that often glorifies instant gratification, the process of working steadily toward a goal can feel slow and frustrating. But it's in those moments of waiting, of putting in consistent effort without immediate results, that we cultivate patience. This patience is not passive, it's an active choice to keep going, to trust the process, and to remain committed even when progress feels invisible. The journey also fosters resilience. Each obstacle we face along the way is an opportunity to grow stronger and more adaptable. Success is not about avoiding challenges, it's about overcoming them. The struggles we encounter on our journey force us to think creatively, to persevere, and to push beyond our perceived limits. These experiences build resilience, which becomes a foundation for facing future challenges with confidence and determination. One of the most rewarding aspects of the journey is the personal growth it inspires. As we work toward our goals, we often discover strengths we didn't know we had. We learn to manage our time, to prioritize what truly matters, and to stay focused amidst distractions. These lessons are not just valuable for achieving our current goals, they become part of who we are, equipping us for future endeavors. The journey is also where we build relationships and create memories. The people we meet along the way, the shared experiences, and the moments of triumph and failure all contribute to the richness of our lives. These connections and experiences often become more meaningful than the goal itself. They remind us that success is not just about what we achieve, but about who we become and how we connect with others. Focusing on the journey also allows us to find joy in the present moment. When we're solely fixated on the destination, we risk missing the beauty of the process. The small victories, the lessons learned, and the sense of progress are all sources of fulfillment. By embracing the journey, we shift our perspective from one of scarcity, believing we'll only be happy when we reach the goal, to one of abundance, finding value in every step we take. The journey challenges us to stay adaptable. Rarely does the path to success unfold exactly as planned. Unexpected detours and setbacks are inevitable, but they often lead to growth and discovery. When we embrace the journey, we learn to view these moments not as failures, but as opportunities to explore new paths and gain new insights. This adaptability is a crucial skill that serves us well in all areas of life. The journey also helps us develop a sense of gratitude. Each step forward, no matter how small, is a reminder of the progress we've made. When we take the time to acknowledge and appreciate these moments, we cultivate a mindset of gratitude that enhances our overall sense of well-being. This gratitude helps us stay motivated and focused, even when the road ahead feels long. By valuing the journey, we also learn to let go of perfectionism. The process of working toward a goal is rarely flawless. Mistakes are inevitable and setbacks are part of the experience. When we accept these imperfections as natural and necessary, we free ourselves from the pressure to be perfect. This acceptance allows us to take risks, to learn from our failures, and to keep moving forward with confidence. The journey is where we find our true purpose. While the destination may give us a sense of direction, it's the process of working toward it that reveals what truly matters to us. Along the way, we gain clarity about our values, our passions, and our strengths. This self-discovery is often more valuable than the goal itself, as it shapes the person we are becoming. The journey also reminds us that success is not a fixed point, but a continuous process. Reaching a goal is not the end, it's a milestone in an ongoing journey of growth and learning. When we focus on the journey, we embrace the idea that life is not about reaching a single destination, but about continually striving, evolving, and becoming the best version of ourselves.